Liz Truss's premiership is coming under increasing pressure as today a snap poll of Tory party members found more than half say that she should resign as Prime Minister, with, you guessed it, Boris Johnson their top choice of successor. I can't help but feel as though we're in a situation at the moment where our Prime Minister was only elected by some Conservative Party members, and actually now potentially we have a chap running the country who nobody has elected at all, but there we are. There's also suggestions that her popularity with older voters could be under threat, as Downing Street indicated that ministers could ditch their commitment to the triple lock on pensions. It follows a U-turn on almost all of the tax-cutting measures announced in her mini-budget and her sacking of Kwasi Kwarteng as Chancellor last week after just a month in post. But I'm sure we'll all be reassured to know that it's calmed the markets. I mean, we'll all be a bit poorer, but it will be reassured to know that we've calmed the market. GBNews political editor Darren McCaffrey is in Westminster for us right now. Darren, did Jeremy Hunt write Liz Truss's political suicide note for her and deliver it to the House of Commons yesterday?
Maybe, but in many ways, actually, Jeremy Hunt has actually helped save, I would think, Liz Truss, at least for the time being. I would suggest, Patrick, he's given her a little bit of breathing space. You've mentioned the fact that the markets have calmed down. That has calmed temperatures in the place behind me a tad, as in MPs are willing to give her, I think, a little bit more room, though that is not to say that there are lots and lots of really difficult obstacles ahead for this government. You talked about one of them, the triple lock pensions. Are the Conservative Party still committed to that? Well, neither the Prime Minister's spokesperson or indeed the Chancellor's spokesperson could commit the government to ensuring that pensioners had that triple lock in terms of the increase they could see in the years to come. Add to that what's going to happen to benefits. Are they going to be linked to earnings or to inflation, which is clearly a lot higher than earnings at the moment? Again, the government refusing to state any commitment. What about defence spending? Again, a really tricky subject. The UK is committed to reaching 3% of GDP of defence spending by the end of this decade. The government still committed to that? We don't know. Ministers have suggested they would resign if that wasn't the case. And all this, of course, while the pressure on Liz Truss continues to grow. I've just spoken to one Conservative MP this afternoon who suggests that the carpet outside Sir Graham Brady's office has been worn away by the number of people submitting letters. I think the next key test, though, for Liz Truss will come tomorrow lunchtime at PMQ. Now, PMQs come and go. Sometimes you have a good one, sometimes you have a bad one. It is fair to say, Patrick, Liz Truss needs not just a good one, but a stonky one tomorrow to reassert her authority. Will it be enough, though? That's the big question, because if you look at the opinion polls, look at that poll amongst Conservative members, where 4 in 10 of the people who backed her this summer now suggest she needs to go immediately. The pressure on Liz Truss shows no sign of relenting anytime soon.